people want that kind of control and choice over their lives to do what they want and to employ the people, to do it.
Have they really changed the way that people can choose their care and support, do you think?
No. I think for some people it has done, but I think that definitely has been due to the individual and also the network that they have around them.
When you look at where we've been able to let go and where we've been able to give people permission to work with themselves, you don't tell them what it's going to cost, but generally it will usually cost less for a better outcome, just because, many people know better than us how they can improve their lives. A lot of change comes from permission, and I think that in the area of direct payments and personalisation, some authorities have been able to kind of let go and others haven't, but I've yet to see that kind of full model of, well, here's the budget, you go away and work with that in a different way and come back. I think we've had a couple of examples in Somerset where we've seen people combine some of their monies and come up with some flexible support.
What we're not going to do is lose sight of what we've already started, and that's to work in a co-produced way. We've identified with people what they want, and we've involved families and people who are important to them in doing that, and we're going to carry on doing that. What we're going to do is to work with families and to keep them more involved in the day-to-day decision making and really sort of get their thoughts on how our care services should run and what people really want from them.
I think one of the unspoken challenges that provider organisations face is the loss of control and the loss of, to put it bluntly, money. I've looked at the social media posts recently about the free school meals and the idea of a mass organised distribution of free school meals that have a carrot and a couple of potatoes, and apparently that is worth £30, and then photos of what a family can actually buy for that £30 by going to different shops, getting the best deals they can and getting what they actually like, and the difference is stark. And personal budget, self-directed support to me works in exactly the same way. And I think it takes a really brave provider to say, do you know what, we might not be the best person for you for this element of your support, and we're still going to help you find who would be the best person. And I remember when we first started as an organisation on this journey about how we could be better at supporting individuals. And I always remember there was a big fear from staff teams when we were trying to personalise people's support and do people matching. And there was a really big fear amongst lots of people that they wouldn't get picked. They wouldn't be chosen, they'd be sacked. And of course, that hasn't borne out in reality at all. What has happened is that people matching has resulted in stronger teams, stronger support, happier support, because people are getting so much more from each other rather than feeling that they're just carrying out a job, which of course social care is never about.
Supporting a young person, I think they were a bit worried it was going to be a lot of responsibility for them. But I think because actually we worked closely with the young person, it kind of took a bit of that pressure off them, gave us a lot of that time to really get to know the young people, have those conversations about what is working for them and what's not, and finding out from the young person what they need. And I think sometimes that was probably some of the reluctance as well, where they had set goals and asked for certain equipment or activities that maybe the professionals or the parents or carers or people around them maybe thought wasn't the right thing for them. But I think it really showed that actually not going with what the professionals, parents, carers want and actually listening to the young person had some really good outcomes for those young people, and probably had some unexpected outcomes that they wouldn't have expected from that equipment or activity or goal that they'd set.